Morning everyone, it is now Monday morning, it's the first day of Booktubeathon. I have just woken up, as has my daughter who is currently playing games on my iPad. We're about to get ready to go to my parents because I work on a Monday unfortunately, but today I'm going to be reading The Edge of Nether by J.A. Redmersky. This is the first book in a series. I'm not sure what the series is called, but it's the first book and I've got the second book to read also during the Booktubeathon. So I'm going to be trying to get through this one today. This is one of my bigger books. I'm going to try and get through my bigger books at the start of the week, and then I've got some graphic novels and some short story collections to read later in the week. So wish me luck. I'm not sure I'm going to get much time to read this during the day, but this evening I'm going to try and get through as much as I can, and I think it's going to be a fast read. It's sort of a contemporary, new adult type story, which I tend to fly through, so I'm really excited. It's got really good ratings on Goodreads, so I can't wait to see what I think of this. And Hi everyone, so I'm at my parents' house. Monday is a day that I generally work, but there wasn't much work to do today. It's the type of job that sometimes there's work, sometimes there isn't. I'm looking at working with my dad, so today there wasn't an awful lot of work to do, so we did what we had to do, and then Nanny and Grandad took Matilda out for a bit. So currently I am struggling to decide whether to watch YouTube videos on everyone's Booktubeathon TBRs or to read my book for the Booktubeathon, which is what I'm meant to be doing. I have managed to read quite a bit. I have now read about 100 pages, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I want to try and get through this one today. It's such an easy read. So I'm going to wade through all of my Booktube videos, and then I'm going to get on with some more reading of this. And then if I don't get much more done this afternoon, I've got all of this evening to read, so I'm going to be doing more reading then. So I'll catch up with you this evening and let you know how I get on and my thoughts on this book. Hi guys! So I finished my first book, The Edge of Nether by J.A. Redmersky. This was my choice for the author who has the same first letter of their surname as my surname, which is R. And this was, let's have a look. .459 pages. So I've read 459 pages today. I'm really proud of it, and I really enjoyed this. It was a really good story. I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. It didn't blow me away, but I did really enjoy it, and it definitely made me want to keep reading, and I was enjoying the pacing of it. And it's just a really nice romance story. I liked the way the characters built their relationship over time, and yeah, it was just a really good read. So what I'm going to do now is I've got a couple of books that came in the post today, so I wanted to show you those because I thought, well, that's quite nice to add to the vlog. And then I am going to be starting my next book, which is going to be, so I'm actually doing a buddy read this week, which I hadn't remembered at the time of filming my Booktubeathon TBR video, but since remembering, I'm really excited about it, and it's a book I really want to read. So this is going to be the book that I've really wanted to read, so I'm changing my TBR slightly, and that is The Double-Edged Sword by Sarah Silverwood, and I'm reading this with the lovely Emma. We're doing a buddy read together. It'll be our first buddy read together, and she really wanted to read it, so I'm really excited to be reading this together, and I think this is a good one that I should be able to get through relatively quickly. So this is going to be my pick for a book I've really wanted to read. So tonight I am going to be also trying to read the book that I'm going to read in one sitting, which is Sex Criminals Volume 2, Two Worlds, One Cop by Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky. I'm going to film myself doing this, so and I'll speed it up so you can see proof that I've read this graphic novel in one sitting, so hopefully I'll work out how to do that and you won't have to sit through an hour's worth of footage. I think I should be okay. And then if I get through that, I might also read these 2 graphic novels, my Wonder Woman ones, which are the ones that are sort of bumping me up to 7 books by the end of the week. So that'll fulfill that challenge. So if I manage to read these 3 graphic novels this evening, and then I've also already finished this, I'll already be 4 books after the first day down, with only 3 to go. The 3 other ones are sort of, you know, proper novels, but I think I could do this. I think I could do it. I'm really excited, and I've given myself a good sporting chance with the graphic novels there because I can read them quite quickly. So let me show you the books that I got today, just because it's quite nice. I bought this book and I've seen it on someone's channel, and again I've forgotten whose channel it was, but it sounded right up my alley, and I found a copy for £1 online, so I bought it and it arrived today, and that's Zoo by James Patterson. I recently read The Great Zoo of China by Matt Riley and I loved it. It's just a fast, action-packed story. You have to suspend disbelief a little bit because, you know, someone gets into death-defying killing situations and gets their way out of it about a bazillion times, but I love that. And this, from what I can depict from both the synopsis and what I heard from whoever it was that was talking about this, is that something's happened and all the animals in the world have sort of lost their fear of humans, and they're starting to sort of attack humans and take over, and it's sort of a fight against the animals, and it just sounds really great. And James Patterson writes really good books. I think this is him writing with somebody else, Michael Ledwidge. I don't think I've ever read a James Patterson book myself, but I know my dad likes his sort of detective or series, lawyer series, so I'm excited to give this one a go. So I'm really glad that that came in the post. Just before this readathon started, I finished The Rush by Emmy Walker, which is the 2nd book in her trilogy. It's the Facerin trilogy, and Emmy Walker is a booktuber, so you can look her up on Booktube as well, but she's written this trilogy, and I read the first one a while ago and I loved it, and then she kindly sent me the 2nd one, and I just got around to reading it, and I read it in pretty much a day, and I really enjoyed it again, and I couldn't wait for the next one, and lo and behold I got home today and she must have sent this before I'd even started reading the other one, so it's really creepy actually how our minds, really, but anyway, she sent me the 3rd one, the final book in the trilogy, and I just can't wait to read this. So as soon as Booktubeathon's over, I'm really going to try and get to this straight away because I'm really loving this. She just deserves way more credit for these books. People need to read them. I really encourage you to read them. They're brilliant and I'm really enjoying the story. It's a really great fantasy story with a quest and really interesting characters, and I'm just really loving it, so I can't wait, and thank you so much to her for sending me this. I can't wait to get to it. And then the final thing I want to show you before I start reading my book that I'm not allowed to let go is my Willoughby Book Club book came in the post, and I thought I would unwrap it for you. I have no idea what it is, so let's see what it's in there. And it is The Dog Stars by Peter Heller, and this is shortlisted for Science Fiction Book of the Year, the Arthur C. Clarke Award. So I don't know anything about this, so let's read back and find out. Hig, bereaved and traumatised in the new wilderness of post-apocalyptic America, has 3 things to live for: his dog, Jasper, his aggressive but resourceful fellow survivor, Bangley, and his beloved Cessna aeroplane. Thanks to the plane, he has a lifeline. He can search for food and keep watch for feral fellow outlaws. The problem is that not much fuel is left. But Hig's loneliness has become unbearable. When he picks up a message from another pilot, his longing to find who else is still alive becomes irresistible. Although he won't have enough fuel to get back, what follows is scarier and more life-affirming than he could have imagined. And his story, The Dog Stars, is a book unlike any I've ever read, a novel about the end of the world that makes you glad to be alive. this sounds really good. I'm really, really excited to read this, and I don't think I've heard of it before. So thank you so much to Willoughby Book Club. I'm really pleased I get this subscription. I'm a very lucky girl. I got this as a present from my husband, and he is wonderful. And yeah, so I'm really excited to give this go at some point. I apologise, he's giving himself a big old cheer in the background here. He's sitting here at the table. Do you want to give yourself another cheer? Cheering himself on for being such a great husband. So modest. Anyway, so that's the things that came in the post, and now I'm going to get on with reading this graphic novel in one sitting, or at least without letting go of it. So let's try this now. Right, I'm starting the challenge in a second, where I have to complete a book without putting it down. I've got my chocolate limes ready. Let's go. So I read that, and it didn't take too long, and like the first one, I'm not going to carry on with this series. It's okay, but I don't think it's for me. I quite like the artwork. The story's okay, but it just doesn't grab me. I think this is probably going to be like a 3-star read for me. 3 stars. I'm not going to carry on, but I'm glad I read it, and I didn't let go of it while I was reading it. So hopefully I found a way to fast forward the footage so you can see that I didn't cheat, because otherwise it's going to be a really long, boring vlog. Anyway, I'm now going to let go of this book because I am allowed to. Yay! And I've now completed 2 of the challenges. One is the first letter of the surname being the same as yours, and the other one is a book that you don't put down. And so now I'm going to read two other graphic novels tonight that will help me achieve the sort of 7 books total overall if I finish all the other books. And then tomorrow I'm going to start the Double-Edged Sword, which is a buddy read, so I'm really looking forward to that. Hi guys, so I've just waved off a very excited toddler to go to soft play with her grandparents and to feed the ducks. And I am going to start the Double-Edged Sword by Sarah Silverwood. This will be the first thing that I've read on day 2 of Booktubeathon. This is a buddy read with the lovely Emma, who is someone that I've met via Booktube, and I'm going to be chatting via Goodreads. I'm really excited to read this. I haven't heard much about it. I'm going to try and read the whole thing today. I've got a couple of hours now, maybe 2 hours until my daughter gets home and I have to do dinner and bath and bed, etc. And then this evening I'm just going to be reading. So I will update you a bit later on how I get on. Hi everyone, so it's just a little update. It's now the evening. It's about 7 p.m. on the second day of Booktubeathon, and I am just finishing up my buddy read book, which is The Double-Edged Sword by Sarah Silverwood. Unfortunately, neither me nor Emma, my buddy reader, are really enjoying this very much. I think it's aimed at sort of a middle grade audience by the read. There's not much plot or world building, and the characters are falling a bit short for me, so I'm finding it a bit meh. I do like that it's written from a male protagonist point of view. I think that's quite unusual and I quite like that. But I think this is going to probably be a 2-star read, unfortunately, and I'm reading it to the end because I'm doing it for the Booktubeathon as well. But yeah, not a great read for me. At least it's a quick read, but I definitely won't be continuing with the series when I finish this. So I'm hoping to finish that in the next hour or so, and then I'm going to move on to my book, which is someone else's favourite, and that is Revenge by Yoko Ogawa. This is a collection of short stories that was recommended by someone on my channel, so thank you to her for that, and I'm looking forward to giving this one a go and seeing what I think. So I will get back to you a bit later and let you know how I get on. Hi guys, so sorry about the quality of this. I'm on my mobile phone. Matilda has gone out with her grandma and granddad this afternoon to the park, so I've got an extra hour to read. I was rubbish yesterday and I did read The Double-Edged Sword, which I didn't really end up liking and only gave 2 stars, unfortunately. And I think my poor buddy reader Emma is just going to DNF. We just didn't get on with it. But I was meant to start Revenge by Yoko Ogawa, which is a short story collection and is the book that is someone else's favourite, and I was meant to start that last night, but I got sidetracked by a TV documentary called 3-Day Nanny, which is all about a nanny that goes in and provides sort of help for people with troubled toddlers, which is very similar, I think, to sort of Super Nanny-ish, but I really like the woman that does it, so I ended up watching 2 episodes of that, and so didn't read anything at all. So today I have started reading this. I'm halfway through. I'm going to hope to finish this before Matilda gets home for her dinner. Hi everyone, so I have just this minute finished Revenge by Yoko Ogawa, and I have to say, yeah, probably one of my favourite short story collections that I've read. If you've watched my channel, you know that I struggle with short stories quite a lot, and I have yet to find one that has totally blown me away. I think I'm going to give this one a 3 stars. I really enjoyed how the stories linked either by characters or places, and how the tension and the feeling of sort of unrest and strangeness sort of built within the story. It was a really, really well written book, really clever, and just sort of showed us how you don't need to make something really horrific or gory in order to give you a feeling of unease and horror, really. I'm really pleased I tried this. I'm really happy that this was recommended to me, and I definitely enjoyed reading it. It was a really good read. So I've finished that one. Hi there, so just a quick one. Since I last spoke to you, I have now completed Miss Marvel Volume 2. It was a bit unexpected. I picked it up from the library today. I thought I'd give it a go. I wasn't going to carry on with this series, but I'm so pleased that I tried this one because it's a 4-star read for me. I really enjoyed it much more than the first one, so I'm really pleased with that. But not only does that now mean that I've read this and enjoyed it more than I expected, but I have now completed Booktubeathon on day 3. I have read quite a lot of graphic novels, and I'm going to try and read as much more as I can by the end of the week, but I've completed all the challenges, so let me just show you what they were. So the first challenge I completed was to read a book where the author has the same first letter of their surname as your surname, and I read The Edge of Never by J.A. Redmersky. Then you had to read a book without letting go, so I read Sex Criminals Volume 2 by Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky. The next was to read a book with blue on the cover, so I read Wonder Woman Volume 1 Blood. Next was to read a book you really wanted to read, and I read The Double-Edged Sword by Sarah Silverwood. Next was to read a book that was someone's favourite, and I read the short story collection Revenge by Yoko Ogawa. Next was to read 2 more books to take my total to 7 books, so I read these 2. I ended up giving Miss Marvel 4, which was a real nice surprise. I picked this up from the library today, so this was also meeting the challenge of reading your latest acquisition. I got this from the library purely by chance today and decided that I was going to read it. I wasn't going to carry on with this series. I wasn't particularly keen on the original Miss Marvel, the first volume, but I'm so pleased I read this. I loved it and I gave it 4 stars, and I'm now definitely going to continue with the series. So this is all the books, all 7 books that I read and all the 7 challenges completed. I'm now going to carry on with my TBR for August, and see how far I can get by the end of the week. So you may not see any more of me for the rest of the week. I'm going to be reading as much as I can. You're seeing this on Friday, so it's been 2 days since this has happened, so who knows if I've read more books since then, but I'll wrap you up on those next week. I'll include them in my next week's wrap up. I just wanted to say I've had a wonderful Booktubeathon. I've really enjoyed it, and happy Booktubeathon, and I hope everyone managed to reach the goals that they set themselves and just had a really good reading week. Anyway, that's it from me. Bye for now, Booktube.